It's boiling hot here in Gloucestershire in the UK. So let's bring you some boiling hot books. This is Dazzie's top 20 selling comic books of the week, episode 34. And today I'm going to be discussing the best selling comic books on eBay for the week of the 16th of August 2019. Basically, since coverprice.com came on the scene, they have become a go-to spot for watching eBay trends on comics, and they scour thousands of eBay sales to culminate data to spotlight the hottest selling comics. Here is this week's top 20, guys. Let's see if you can beat me. Most people normally do. Starting in at number 20 on our list, we're going to start with an incentive, and it is a 1 in 25 Adi Granoff Codex variant to Absolute Carnage, issue number 1. Like I said, not very often that variants make it onto our list. What can I tell you about that book? Well, of course, Venom variants are a dime a dozen these days, but this has been a favourite for many people of the Absolute Carnage series. It sold 59 copies this past week, had a 7-day trend of plus 53%, and a high sale raw for just $30, guys. So that's pretty respectable, but for 1 in 25, surely you want a little bit more for your money. Still affordable. Number 19 on our list, and we're talking more incentives, and this is a whopper. This is a 1 in 100 Pepe Larraz Virgin variant for House of X issue 2. Look at that cover, guys. That is a busy cover. This is one of the harder books to find when it comes to House of X, and it's tracking right on ratio. It has sold 31 copies this past week, had a 7-day trend of plus 107%, and a high sale raw went for $105. Good stuff for that Virgin variant from Pepe Larraz. Up next, some old school. It's a book I have yet to add to my collection, but I will do at one point. It is from 1982. It is from Frank Miller. It is the limited series Wolverine issue number 1. A classic book, guys. Let's get some details. Well, like I said, it's getting a bit of renewed love this past week. This is a book that's been quite significantly undervalued for some time now. It sold 35 copies this past week, had a 7-day trend of plus 97%, and a high sale CGC 9.8 went for a staggering $299, guys. Good book to have. I'm a big Hugh Jackman fan. As you know, I saw him in concert. Great guy. Okay, up next, we're talking more Absolute Carnage. And we are talking the Stanley Lau Artgerm variant. That's the book in question, guys. Artgerm is everywhere, as it seems is Absolute Carnage. What can I tell you about it? Well, this was a surprise to see it so low on the list. A lot of people would have thought it would have been higher, yet it still sold 39 copies, had a 7-day trend of plus 92%, and a high sale raw went for $12, guys. So a nice book. I know there's a huge fan base for Artgerm, but sadly none of his books ever really take off because they are so mass produced, but he is one of the best in the business. Up next on our list is the first book I have for this week, and it's a nice one to have as well. Thor, God of Thunder. Sorry about the glare, guys. Issue number 2. And there's more and more talk about Gore the Butcher, whose first appearance is in this book. And he is being quite a lot of talk coming for him being the villain of the Thor Love and Thunder movie. Now, it sold 28 copies this past week, had a 7-day trend of plus 130%, and a high sale CGC 9.8 went for $113. If this character takes off and stays around for maybe a couple more films, that will be a steal. There is a variant that is also selling pretty well. Now, this is the regular Asad Ribic cover. It's also the first appearance of the Necro Sword in this book, so you're getting bang for your buck with this book. And I paid £8.47. in November of last year. Happy to add that to the PC. Up next on our list, we've got some Batman love, and it is Batman Last Night on Earth, and it is issue number 2. Now let's see if I can just get the right cover up for you guys, because I was on. Here it is, Batman Last Night on Earth, issue number 2. Not really tempting me, I've got to be honest. Like I say, I'm staying away from a lot of these newer books. Well, it was a surprising mover, having said that, and it sold 37 copies this past week, had a 7-day trend of plus 98%, and a high sale wall went for $9. That was number 15 on our list, Batman Last Night on Earth, issue 2. Now, this has been the talk of the town, this next book, guys. I'm sure most of you have got it. I'm probably the only one on the planet who hasn't. It is House of X, issue number 1. There we go, guys. House of X, issue 1. Meant to be a fantastic read. It's about time we had a good X-Men book. Boy, we've had some stinkers. Like I said, it's still on the radar. It sold 34 copies this past week at a 7-day trend of plus 115%, and a high sale wall went for $16. I'm sure I can still find that in my LCS. Pretty sure I can. Up next, we're still talking House of X, and this time we are talking issue 2, and this time we are talking the Pichelli flower variant, guys. And here it is. That's the book in question, guys. House of X, issue 2, the Pichelli variant. What can I tell you about that? Well, this gorgeous Pichelli flower variant sold 20 copies this past week, had a 7-day trend of plus 212%, and a high sale raw went for $20, guys. $20 for that one. Pretty cover. Moving on. It's another book in my collection, which I'm delighted to have. Classic, and I've just stuck it in some nice Mylar, or Mylite, the cheaper version. But yeah, Carnage is coming. This is Amazing Spider-Man 361. I'm sure you all know that. Venom 2 has found its director with Andy Serkis. I'm a big fan of Andy Serkis. Such an underrated actor, I believe. And Carnage is going to go crazy. I feel sure Woody Harrelson would do the character justice. I like Woody Harrelson and I like Andy Serkis, so it's a good combination for me. And we expect this book, you know, the forums are talking it up. It's going to take a big jump when the pieces all come together. But it sold 45 copies this past week, had a 7-day trend of plus 102%, and a high sale CGC 9.8 went for a whopping $490.90, and it is getting closer and closer to that Amazing Spider-Man 300 price, isn't it? Venom. So yeah, Carnage is going to be a big hit. I think I wouldn't be surprised to see him in more than one movie. And of course, with Sony just getting Spider-Man back, I'm guessing we're going to see a lot more of these Spider-Man characters. And of course, Carnage is Cletus Cassidy. And this is the second overall appearance of Carnage, as he had a one-page cameo in the previous issue, Amazing Spider-Man issue 360. I paid 50 quid for this, and I'm satisfied. It's at least an 8.59, and that was in the middle of last year. So, our number one runner-up, guys, for this week, and it is a book I've been looking for with no joy. We are talking independent. We're talking Dead End Kings, issue number 1, guys. Issue number 1 from Source Point Press. A lot of people have been thinking this is going to hit the top 10, but not quite there just yet. But it was one of the big winners of the week. It sold 77 copies this past week, had a 7-day trend of plus 85%, and it had a high sale raw sale for $46. That's mental stuff. Dead End Kings, issue number 1. So we're into the big top 10, guys, and I'm struggling. So far, I've had 2 out of 10. Oh my days. Let's get into the 10, starting at number 10. And it's a book, like I said, I went hunting at my friend John Christopher's Morehouse place, and because I knew he had one, but it was gone. Picked up another couple of books, but the one I was after wasn't there. The book in question, Thor, issue number 1, guys. Thor, issue number 1. And that is, of course, the first appearance of Jane Foster as Thor in the Marvel Universe proper. Of course, she appeared in a What If book previous to that. What If number 10, I think it was. Well, that sold 55 copies this past week and had a top weekly sale of a graded book of $262. Good stuff for that. Number 1 of Thor. I knew I should have picked it up. I left it there, I don't know why. Number 9 on our list, more Absolute Carnage. Crazy. Can't get enough of it. It is the Dell'Otto variant. That is our number 9 this week, guys. That is the cover we are talking about. Number 9 on our list. Well, like I said, hot new series from Donny Cates, and he usually strikes gold, doesn't he? And it's featuring one of the cover favourites in Dell'Otto. It sold 60 copies this past week and a top sale raw of $35. Good book, Absolute Carnage, issue 1 of Dell'Otto. Number 8 on our list is either Absolute Carnage or House of X. That's they're dominating. And this is House of X, issue 2, the character variant is our number 8, guys, this week. Number 8 on our list. It's a new Hickman X-Men series, is gaining traction. It's really on fire. It sold 24 copies this past week and had a top sale raw of $25. Number 7 on our list, and I've heard nothing but good things. My brother-in-law said it is the best superhero show he has ever seen. I believe in. I'm very excited for this. I've been picking up some of the minor keys in readiness for season 2. I can't wait to watch this. It's on Amazon. It is The Boys, issue 1. That is our number 7 this week, guys. And it's a massive hit, isn't it? Very mature, very gory, but very good watch by all accounts. It sold 51 copies this past week at a top sale for a graded copy of $375, guys. That book is on fire. Absolutely on fire. Number 6 on our list. More Absolute Carnage. This time we have got the Stegman Premier variant to issue number 1. That is our number 6, guys. That is the cover. Quite like the cover. But there's just too many of these Absolute Carnages for me. And that was a cool 2 per store alternate cover variant, so limited. It sold 108 copies this past week with a top sale for a raw copy of $60. 5 on our list, and it's a stalwart on our list. Classic Todd McFarlane. Here we go. Spawn, issue number 1. Yeah, this pops into the top 10 from time to time. It sold 52 copies this past week. Excuse me. And a graded copy went for $120, guys. It's the first solo Spawn series. So many good things about this book. The McFarlane cover art just jumps off at the page. It's the first appearance of Sam and Twitch and Jason Wynn and Wanda Fitzgerald, Steve Percival, all characters. A lot of those appeared in the very first Spawn movie. Of course, we're supposed to be getting a second Spawn movie starring Jamie Foxx and Jeremy Renner. Whether it ever happens, we don't know. But that's a great book. Spawn number 1. Excuse me. Number 4 on our list, and this is an interesting one. I've got a lot of the early Mr. Miracle issues, but I don't have this one. It's in one of my friend's shops at the moment, and it is beat to hell. Whether I get it, I don't know. But this is the second appearance of Big Barda in Mr. Miracle issue number 5. The second appearance of Big Barda. Of course, she first appears in issue number 4, which I do own. Well, this book sold 28 copies this past week with a top sale for a graded copy of $200. Mr. Miracle, issue number 5. And we're into the top 3. And this is an unusual one, because it is the first appearance of a character who is rumoured to be appearing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe down the line. The book in question, X-Force, issue number 2. Yeah. This is the first appearance of Weapon X, who is Garrison Kane. Garrison Kane. And this is the second appearance, of course, of Deadpool, Wade Wilson. But yeah, it's been spec'd upon because of Kane. That's all I can tell you, guys. That is number 3 on our list. I don't have any figures for this one, I'm afraid. But be on the lookout. I've found 2 or 3 of these over the years, and sometimes for very cheap. Number 2 on our list, Werewolf by Night, issue 32, is getting out of hand for a lot of people. Thankfully, it's one of my big boy books. Delighted to have it. That book is getting astronomical. So people are turning to an alternative. And of course, he is rumoured to be appearing in the MCU very soon. The book in question, Moon Knight issue number 1, guys. I've passed on this book several times. It's not the real McCoy for me, but I know a lot of people are big Moon Knight fans, so they will grab that, and rightly so. It's the first series for Moon Knight, after all. And like I said, he is rumoured to be appearing in the MCU. It sold 61 copies this past week and had a top sale for a graded book of $235. Crazy stuff. I've seen this for £5. They're out there, guys. Don't be paying that silly money. And now we're left with the last one. Number 1 on our list, and of course, it had to be either one of 2, didn't it? It is House of X, issue 2, the Putri Connecting variant, guys. That is our number 1 this week. I'm sure a lot of you picked that up. Mass produced, after all. Well, Hickman, like I said, has relaunched the X-Men series, and it's selling very well, and meant to be a very good storyline. I might try and pick up a copy of issue 1 at some point. It sold 46 copies this past week, and a high sale raw of $25. That's all the info I've got, guys. Sorry, it's a little bit short on the info this week, but there's 20 good books there. And how many did I have? A whopping 1, 2, 3, 4. Stunning stuff. Thanks to everybody who's been subscribing to me of late, and to all my subscribers. I am at a world record 723. If you like what you see, please subscribe, share, like, ding that bell so you can follow all my videos. I bring out a ton of info. That's Daz over and out. Thanks to everyone for watching. Bye for now.